The following exchange introduces the civilizations, which will be examined in greater detail in the next chapter. Tom, we understand the Earth plane, its entrapment, its density and its illusionary factor, yes. Irene, it'd be fun to have you here. Tom, the time will come when all of us will be in togetherness, at the time of the elevation and transformational density of planet Earth, in its rightful place of existence as the paradise of glory, yes. John, where's that going to be? Tom, upon planet Earth. John, whereabouts? Laughs, I don't ask when. Irene, your backyard. Laughter. Tom, you speak of an exact location. In that time all planet Earth will be the exact location, for it will not be necessary to have those elements of mechanical. John, communication, you mean, won't be necessary mechanically. Tom, not with that physical industrial mechanism. You may flip your hair and you will go. Irene, great. We're ready. Now specifically, I would like to go back to the creation and the 24 civilizations. Who created the 24? Or were they in fact a creation? Or were they in fact elements and particles that were brought together by you, but in fact they already had existence and you gave them order? Tom, that is a large question. It was in this nature, there was one creator, one energy, one pure light, one pure being self that contained all components of all that is. It is extremely complicated, but in simplification, it came into that being the knowledge and wisdom to begin to divide the components of which it consisted, not to remove them but to build a structure. For in its aloneness it had only self for companion. That was not wrong, but it was more valuable to create a situation whereby there was a separate element, to create a situation that would then have the structure to give the cells that would be populating different environmental existences, those portions necessary for its attainment of its choosing. For it was found, in the creating by that was created out of nothing, that there would be the necessity to expand this creating. Now what would be the purpose of creating nothing out of nothing? It was important to have created something. So the 24 universal civilizations were created, as guides, elements of direction, elements of purpose, and also to know that there would be some areas of civilization, such as that of Altia, which would govern and rule that element of their existence all over the universe, as Ashan does with color, sound and arts. It was a way for the Creator to expand and provide and begin those elements necessary for expansion, because once that was created, then the expansion would continue and it would go on and on. Therefore it needed the different elements that would make expansion purposeful. If the expansion continued with only the creating of universes, with no purpose, then it would have served no purpose. Now have we confused you completely? Irene, no, not only does it not confuse, this is the most brilliant thing I've ever heard. This was a communication made in 1975 to a group of 3 people. Tom, it is important now for us to pray together, because it is the beginning now of a sequence, in which, if everything goes right, the result will be the saving of the planet Earth, and the understanding and awakening of the souls of planet Earth. As the 12 of us are together, remember that many times we have spoken to you and explained that with 12, and today it is 9 of us and the 3 of you, all things are possible. If the planet can be saved, and will be saved, the entire universe will be raised to a level that all souls will have gained the nature of what they have searched for from the beginning of time. And remember that when the souls of the universe have calmness and joy and peace within their hearts, and generate this love, it overtakes even those souls that are negative and dark, and brings life and love to them. And can you imagine that what you have come to this planet to do, when you accomplish it, the entire universe will be glowing with a light that will be blinding, because it will be a light of pure love. And all will become one, and that is what all have striven for. Andrew, I was trying to define your existence, and then our existence, and then the relationship between the two. And I might just prompt you with a question, for example, are the 9 considered the ultimate source of knowledge, wisdom, and power, and so on in the universe? Tom, you are asking your relationship to us, is this not so? It is what you would call infinite intelligence. It is not of 24. It is of 12. 9 of us and 3 humans in a triangle. Andrew, all right. And, if this is the fountainhead, or the unmoved mover, if that be a correct definition, then all your thoughts and actions somehow must be put into effect through other peoples, or groups of beings. Tom, universal civilizations. Andrew, right. Do you yourself initiate the intelligence, the thought, but the action is always carried out by others? Tom, by the civilizations. Andrew. And then at one time you hinted there were 24 major civilizations through which you acted. Tom, when you say major, there are many. But there are 24 heads of civilizations. Andrew, I see. They themselves are part of those many civilizations, or just heads of large groups of civilizations. Tom, they are heads of civilizations. Andrew, and these are what the Bible calls a council of the 24 and the elders and so on. Tom, it would be the Congress. John, one question about that, these are all working on the same side, the positive side, or as the 24. Tom, the positive and the negative must be blended to make it whole. It is as we have explained to you, to be positive with no sense is not as good. They are balanced civilizations. Do you have that in clearness? Andrew, I think we do now. Tom, when you speak of positive, remember, refer to it as a balanced positive. Andrew, now under those 24, could you give us an example of one civilization? Let us say, Huva. Where does it fit in under the 24? Tom, when you speak of the 24, you speak of the heads of the civilizations. There is one you know of as Jehovah. Andrew, Jehovah. And then under him is his civilization. So the Jehovah is one of the 24. Tom, yes. It is known as Huva. But he would have as a pyramid many under that. Andrew, I see, there would be many civilizations, right? Okay, now that clarifies that part. Now take our existence as ordinary human beings. Where do ordinary people come from, and why do they come here, and where do they go? This is one of the great mysteries to us. Tom, all beings, all species come from us. There is a question that is asked by all beings and all species, and it is what you have asked: who am I, where did I come from, and where am I going? Is that not so? Andrew, that is the question, yes. Tom, all species and all beings are particles of us. There is not a way for you to have this understanding. How may we explain? Andrew, well, I have the understanding that they are part of you, but they go through many cycles of existence before they reach Earth, is that not so? Tom, remember that the planet Earth is not that evolved. We are looking for an analogy to give you. Andrew, well, could you say for example, that those who come to Earth all come from another given civilization or planet or something like that? Or state of existence? That is there a regular sequence or place through which they go before they come to the planet Earth? Tom, not in a particular planet. Depending on the needs of that soul. Some souls need more than some other souls. There are levels of intelligence, there are levels of consciousness. Not all are equal. Remember this, it is not true that all are equal. There is a soul. The soul is a particle of us. If you have a giant electric spark, and you put two together that would cause a giant electric spot, there would be sparks that would come off it. Those sparks would be part of us, but each of those sparks would either die out or continue to grow. Some may create a fire, and some may grow slowly, but it would depend upon the ambition of the spark. Andrew, yes. Now, when that spark cycles through Earth, and achieves its full growth, does it go through other civilizations? Tom, it must. Andrew, it doesn't return directly to you. Tom, it will continue for millions of years. But it cannot continue if it stays upon the planet Earth. If you will recall, in a previous communication we had explained to you that the planet Earth is the only planet within the universe that has the variety of animals and plants. It is the most beautiful of all planets because of the different varieties. This, in a sense, attracts the souls, and they have desires to remain upon it. In other civilizations, the souls feel, and they have all the qualifications which you have, but it is more physical upon the planet Earth. John, there is a very large question: what is the purpose of a soul? In existing on all its civilizations and so on. Tom, if a soul becomes what you call perfect, then it is? If we could explain this to you, in your mind you may feel that we are cannibals. Andrew, well, we want the truth, and I think you know us well enough to know that we would not jump to that kind of erroneous conclusion. What we're really asking is, if we had to tell a human being what the purpose of life is, what is the most succinct answer? Tom, you may tell what has been told to humans many times, but was not given to them in clear understanding, that the purpose of their existence and the purpose of their living is to return to whence they came. Andrew, yes. And how can they, while they are on this earth with all its problems? What is it that they can best do in order to return to the source? Tom, if they would treat all as they have desired to be treated? If they would walk in dignity and permit no one to remove their dignity, and if they would have love for all their fellow humans, and for all those that touch them, for this in turn sends love to us. We ask not that they have a total understanding of us. Andrew, yes. But in essence then, God feeds on this kind of nectar, so to say? Tom, yes. Andrew, I think that people would love that idea. Tom, we have the creation, we have created this, but it in truth has created us. Andrew, now that part which, let us say, you feed on is it totally immaterial, that nature of love, something that has no material or physical existence? Since you are not material in any way, you must feed on something immaterial. Tom, it is an energy. It is not something you may hold in your hand. It is a spark that is a glow that emanates, and it grows, and becomes a shining sun, and then it returns to us. Andrew, yes. I find that very beautiful and very satisfying, don't you, John? John, yes, this is the upward spiral, I imagine. Then it's sent out again, on a higher level again, is that so? Tom, yes. It is integrated. Andrew, now, how do the other creatures on earth fit into this plan? And I speak of birds and fish and cattle and so on. Tom, they have more love for us than the humans. They have a greater understanding of us. Andrew, and when they live this way, do they also come back as sparks directly, without having to go through our human form? Tom, they are not a human form. They are planted and they have been brought to the planet Earth to give to the souls upon the planet Earth, how may we say? For them to cause humans to ask in their mind, what created this? How did this come to be? It is to jog their mind. Do you understand that? Andrew, I think so. For example, we were watching two hawks today, and they were incredible and beautiful, and they were mating, as it is the season for mating, and we wondered about their span. They live in such freedom and apparently, love and dignity. Tom, it is the purest love. Andrew, and we wondered, for example, whether their souls would spark too. If they achieved perfection, would they go directly back to you? Tom, they feed to us. Andrew, and bees, for example, that collect honey, and are in tune with each other and their environment, do they feed you too? Tom, remember this, your planet is the only one in existence with this nature.